And of course, just to give context to what we want to discuss now, let's take this story by Samu Gina, when the team Nairobi was at Bomas of Kenya yesterday. They totally disagreed on the election board. Remember, similar forums are being held elsewhere. We saw what happened in Nakuru, violence when one Bonagikaria decided to fight with some individuals. Muranga, I do understand it's coming up this weekend. You also are required to elect an elections board, but let's see what happened in Nairobi first.
Tempers flared at Bomas of Kenya immediately. Jubilee aspirants from Nairobi started submitting names of those they wished to oversee party primaries. The bad blood between Sonko's team Nairobi and Peter Kenneth camps playing out in the open. Both camps were expected to produce 17 names, but Sonko's camp protested, claiming there was a scheme to elect a team favoring Peter Kenneth.
The names that people gave out are not the names which are in this paper. So we want the election to be reconvened, as the commissioner says. We want a free and fair process in Jubilee.
The ensuing rowdiness overwhelming Jubilee Party's National Elections Board member Michael Waweru.
Who are you? Who are you? We are the people. Are you an aspirant? No. Are you an aspirant? No.
To cure such sins, Jubilee is considering shuffling election officials such that no one will preside in his or her county of origin.
Na tumeelezwa wale wamechaguliwa Nairobi hawatafanya uchaguzi Nairobi, wataenda mahali pengine. Kwa hivyo hiyo imetoa vita mingi ile watu wangekuwa pigania.
Meanwhile, a survey conducted by Infotrack indicates that nearly half of all MPs in Nairobi face uncertain future. 44% of Nairobians are ready to vote out their MPs, with 41% appearing impressed with their legislatures. The polls also indicate that Nairobi Senator Mike Sonko remains the most preferred candidate for the Senate seat, despite his quest for the governorship. 35% of Nairobi residents say they will vote for Sonko as senator.
Before we even go to the polls, Simba Rashi is here and he was just looking at that poll and getting a bit uncomfortable. But relax, we'll come to that in a short while. Let's go back to the issue of the Jubilee election for election board officials. And we saw the violence in Nakuru.
Yes.
Remember, these are not the party primaries.
Right.
Party primaries are coming up next month. But with such scenes, just even getting the process done, we're seeing already chaos. What will happen during nominations?
You see, you've said something quite interesting. We have not gotten to the nominations yet. You see, our nominations, that's a litmus test for both coalitions, NASA and Jubilee. Just the other day, before you sound the dong that these chaos are only happening in Jubilee, and like we saw, there was a serious fighting between TJ Kajuan supporters and Ongoro supporters in Waraka. But one thing I liked in that foray is that you saw some element of leadership. Raila Odinga called both of them to his office. If you saw the pictures that came out the other day, there was sense prevailed and they were brought together. And I think that element has been squashed. Here now, with regards to Jubilee, the chaos that we are seeing, there needs to be an element of leadership. Serious leadership must suffice. Failure to which the party in Nairobi, because now you have two camps. You have the Peter Kenneth-led team and you have the Mike Mbuvi-led team, which is Team Nairobi. Left without proper leadership, it is going to cause chaos within the Jubilee ranks. And this is the high time, if the party structures within Nairobi, if they are serious at all, even pushing people into the nominations, this one must be curtailed. Yes. Because you are looking at two things. Already I've told you, people have already dissected themselves. You have aspirants who are lost. They don't know which divide to belong to. And when party officials fold their hands to see what comes out, or what, throw the chips, let them fall where they may be, it is actually the wrong move. I believe civility should start within the party. Yes. We should not wait to go to IBC. All right? There has to be a disciplinary mechanism within the party ranks. Yes. And if that is to suffice, the likes of Mbuvi, and by the way, that meeting, from what I've heard and what I've read, the core meeting had ended. Yes. People had elected. Elections were done. So this group that came later, all right, came to castigate the names that had already been given. So really you're looking at a recipe for chaos if you allow this to continue happening. Yes. Set up your disciplinary mechanism. You have one. You saw there was a time during TNA where the likes of Moses Kuria were called in by the likes of Sakaja. Those are the disciplinary mechanisms that must suffice within the party. The one for ODM, I think, worked. The one for NASA, the one I'm talking about in Oraka, that one worked because the two principles were brought in. You know, and if it's whatever riot they were read, whether it's a riot act or whatever happened, it totally worked. Yes. So I think the president himself, being the party leader, must come in and help this situation.
Did Jubilee go wrong in leaving it to the aspirants to come up with these election boards? Because that's where the problem appears to be.
The answer is yes.
Correct.
Because if these people are looking for employment, why should you tell them, the sitting MPs and the aspirants, come, we elected the people who are going to take us through?
Yes.
No. You have paid the party, the money is required. Just give the chance to the party to nominate the people that want to come and do the election.
Yes.
I don't think why you bring these people. Directly there's a fight. And there will be a fight. Right. I think the party went wrong on that because they needed to bring people without even telling them who is going to do this nomination. Because the fight which is there now, you can see is the people who want to stay. The nomination. Because why should you fight that my cousin, my brother, my friend should be there? The issue it is the ground. You have the people who elect you, who stand for your votes on the ground. Let me tell you and give you an example as a member of the parliament of Bahati. I'm a completely different person. I don't appear in those meetings myself.
So you did not take part in the...
I don't. Even for Nakuru where they were fighting this Gnaika, I don't. Because from the first time, if you start the election from top, coming down, I assure you there must be a problem. But if you start the party from the grassroots, there will be so many people standing for this. Even the top wagon will not be involved on this. Because the grassroots will organize themselves and do that. But you see, like somebody like Ikaria, where he comes in Nakuru. This man is fighting throughout. When he was a mayor, he had a big fight, was beaten by his own askari being a mayor, badly shouting, crying in the chamber. Now, when we came to election of Jubilee, he is the same person who was given money by some of aspirants to bring people whom we want to be the leaders. You know, we were electing people that time by leadership. The people had paid 10,000 to show that he is an aspirant. 10,000.
10,000 for what?
10,000 shillings. They were paying the party. That was showing that I'm an aspirant.
Yes.
This man called Gekaria went and got papers where they paid the bank 100 shillings and add 0 to be 10 so that we can bring many people.
Of course, Wanagikari unfortunately is not yet independent.
I'm just saying because it's my party and I belong to Nakuru and that's why I'm telling you that. So I think also I disagree with the analyst what you have said. According to me, seeing the media and everything, the election of Nairobi had been done and I heard that they had finished peacefully.
Correct.
And it was finished. Then later on now this problem comes.
Yes.
But the biggest problem we can ask ourselves is this. If the party decides it doesn't want so and so because of the action, why does the court comes and force the party to make sure that that person must be accepting that party?
Okay.
I think that is the other biggest problem. But the party must have a democracy. But if they see somebody whom they don't like as a party themselves, and they decide they don't want him.
But I do understand that has to do with the party's own nomination rules that have been submitted to the political party's secretariat. Yes? As a lawyer.
Yes.
You have to abide, as a party, once you submit your nomination rules, you have to abide by them. So if you, even as a party, go against your own nomination rules, then you can be challenged in court.
That's true. But you see, let's talk about that 1 minute. You see the problem, like now the one which was there for Maina. You see, I think also the party had a problem with putting those conditions. You cannot tell people bank money in this account number without checking them. That's where there's a problem. And then when it comes to the law, it goes in the other way around because you can't tell people bank. Then when I bank the money,
you tell me
you have accepted, and then you tell me I can't line. I think that's what there was a problem.
On the issue of the law.
Yes, you see the Political Parties Act is quite clear that there must be discipline within political parties, and that's why you have to present your nomination rules in good time. And there is also a time frame whereby if you feel like you want to amend your nomination rules to make your party function better, you also have that provision. But once you have presented them and you have been allowed to amend them, then you have to use the regulations and the rules you have prepared yourself. Yes. The moment you breach them, then any of the aspirants who feel aggrieved, now can go to the tribunal, and the tribunal will be able to arbitrate.
In reference to the laws
in reference to the rules you have presented, which have been accepted and are on record. So you cannot, you have to stay within a framework, and also candidates sign a code of conduct, so that you tell your party, I will behave properly, and the event you misconduct yourself, then the party or even the tribunal can remove you as a candidate, so that then you do not participate in the election.
Yes. Monyo, of course, what happened in Nairobi, you're watching, but it could just happen in Murang'a as well, given the hot competition between the sitting governor Mwangi wa Iria and Jamla Kamau, who is hoping to unseat him. I do understand that you're the deputy governor, but yes, your allegiances currently have shifted.
That's true.
Yes. But do you expect a smooth process in Murang'a?
Let me appreciate it a little differently from what Honorable Gojiri is. It's in the interest of every aspirant that the process goes on very well. And the solution to this is just not allowing everybody into the hall. Just get the aspirants into the hall to nominate the election board for themselves.
So
it is in their interest.
It is right.
And I can tell you, wait, Murang'a will get this nation to a very civil and sober election of the election board.
Despite the political differences.
Despite the political differences. Because Murang'a leads by example. Everybody expected when you were getting the party team that Murang'a there would be fight. None at all. The civility prevailed. And I can tell you on Saturday the same will prevail. Because it's in the interest of everyone to get a sober and civil team. Why would anybody want their strong people to be in the election board? You've lost one of your lieutenants who will be in the election board, perceived to be very neutral, and then will not be in any way of help to you, unless you're looking at how you will bugger up the nomination.
Yes.
But anybody with a very strong political base at the ground, they have no problem of who will sit in the election board.
And before you even come to Bonarati, we had Bonamaina Commander speaking there, and he said something that's probably escaped.
Very important.
Yeah, very important. That even those elected for the election board in Nairobi will not preside over the elections in Nairobi. That they'll be probably sent to Murang'a, and those elected in Murang'a come to Nairobi, and vice versa. So that could work.
That would work very well. And that's why I'm telling these people, they should not fight. Because I agree with the commander, and I also agree with the party. That is the way the party is going to follow. That because of the signals which came, that after electing those people, then in nomination there will be a problem. So the party have decided, those people who are elected in Nakuru, they will not stand for nomination. They will be taken maybe in Nyandarua. They will be taken maybe in Murang'a. But which will be very, 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 very good when they do that.
Okay,
and if they control nomination, then it will have assurance there will be no fight on that.
Bonarati, how different are you doing it in ODM, for example?
First of all, I don't want to comment about Jubilee, because one, they've been laughing all through when we had our Kasarani event.
Men in Black?
Men in Black. Now
I know they were not in black at Bomas, but it looks very close to that.
They are in men in all other colors.
Purple suit, I saw one in
And this is the problem when interested parties take stage. The good part of it is that if they're not going to have the same people conduct election in Nairobi, it's a fair game.
It makes sense.
Yeah. But unfortunately is that we'll see this coming up even at nomination level, not only in Jubilee, even in court, because people are fighting for these seats that we are in. Therefore, to us, we have already, particularly like ODM, we have structures to the grassroots. We have actually at the polling station, we have at the ward level, constituency level, and national level, at the county level and national level. Therefore, there is all those structures. We don't expect that we'll be having so much of this, but we expect.
In as far as the elections board within ODM, that is sorted out already?
It's sorted out.
So you don't need to go elect?
No. We've already have the whole team actually.
So what Jubilee suffering is something akin to what a young man going through adolescence.
It is, and you see my brother there Ngunjiri is trying to, it's wrong to talk of a gentleman who is supposed to defend himself, Ikari. But these are the people.
They were the both councillors.
Yes, they were. But I want to say is that
the addition of zeros is a serious allegation.
Apart from alleging that Ikari is a violent man, let us agree. Today, if Ngunjiri discovers that Gikari has put his own brother in the board, which can happen, he will be mad. He will be running all over. He will think that he has been rigged out already. But let us agree, there is a mature way of conducting ourselves. I want to agree with Murama that the president has to pull the fast, call his lieutenants, talk to them. Like in Nairobi now, we are happy. Sonko was saying it doesn't recognize completely PK in coming to the elections of contesting the gubernatorial seat, simply because he was in the other side of the divide last time. We are seeing chaos in Nairobi, particularly in Nairobi. But then I don't want to, and that's why I say that I don't want to comment on Jubilee. Jubilee, they're flying themselves in their own oil and let them burn, because that's what they've been cascading.
Okay, let's come to the polls by Infotrack yesterday, and they said that half of the MPs in Nairobi, about 17? 17, yeah. About half will not get re-elected, and that's according to the electorate. 44% of those polls said that they will send you people home. Yes, including you from Dagoretti North. How does that poll make you feel? I know politicians are always dismiss the poll.
Did they put Dagoretti? I have not.
Well, they did. I think
actually went further.
They did. Yes, they did. The unfortunate part of it, the guys of Infotrack called me. That is, sorry, we are sorry, Mheshimiwa. We had actually rated you with Waweru. That Waweru is 43, you are 42. I'm kind of, we share different. Waweru is an MP of Dagoretti South. In the first instance, Waweru is not running for parliamentary seat. He is not actually contesting.
We do understand he's actually submitted his papers for Dagoretti South.
But you see,
no longer in the race
all through, Waweru has been, eyeing for the seat of governor in Nairobi. Therefore, there is no way that confusion will come. Because yesterday when they called me, there is a lady who called me yesterday, Mheshimiwa, we are sorry that when we brought Dagoretti as one. As one. Therefore, Waweru was 43, you are at 42. But then what you're telling you is that, you are on the lead. But you see, I don't agree. Of course, there are those people who have not worked. What do you expect? They must be sent home. If you've not worked, you've not delivered, you go home.
You're confident?
My brother, I can pinpoint what I've done to the people, what has not been done before to my people, and I've done it.
We'll wait for the people of Dagoretti North to make that decision when August 8th comes. In as far as nominations are concerned, we still wait to see how ODM or Jubilee, for that matter, or NASA will conduct their nominations, which are coming up next month. Of course, it will be interesting. Let's now take a break, enjoy some music by Michael Kitanda and the UB Band. We'll be back to discuss the issues in NASA, because there it is getting hot as well.